Alright guys, so we all know that Generation Force just came out very recently, and we all have our heads on that set. We're trying to get our Steel Swarm Roaches, trying to do all this cool stuff. I'm still trying to get my hands on an Adrius, but really, November is sneaking up on us. We're already halfway through September, so we just gotta survive through next month, October, and then here it comes. So first of all, I'm just gonna go through like some noteworthy cards in the set. First thing that's noteworthy is that in Japan this was a very small set. This was 80 cards, but we are going to get a 99 card set with at least 4 TCG exclusives, and one of them is a Dark World card. Now there's been a lot of speculation on this card, and no one really knows what it does. The color is clearly platinum, but what's notable is that he's an Exarch, which sounds like a higher rank than like Huntsman or Vanguard, so most people think he's gonna be like level 5. But it also doesn't seem really... Exarch isn't really something that you think of as in battle. That's like a diplomat or a religious figure, depending on like the context. So I don't know, so he might be like an XYZ monster or something. I'm very interested to see what he is. Of course, he might just be like a redundant beige. We don't really know yet. So let's see. First thing, just gonna cards that seem kind of splashable in no particular order. Dark Flash. A lot of meta decks are very heavy on dark monsters, and we have a dark light format right now, which is not something that we've had in a while, and it's really cool. I like it. And tribute one dark monster you control with 1500 or more attack, and destroy all monsters that were special summoned this turn. Pretty straightforward. Okay, so we know that pretty much a lot of decks have their battle phase tricks that they can do, and for some decks they just don't have that. Well, not anymore. This card basically lets you have that battle phase trick for an extra 1000 attack. It's like a colute that you have to set, almost a little bit worse, but it's generic, and it's very interesting. We might see that in a couple of decks. You'll see it seems pretty splashable. And this card, seems like where XYZ decks are going to kind of get their speed from. If you control 2 or more face-up XYZ monsters, take 2 materials off the field, and draw 2 cards. Well, not off the field because they're not on the field to start with, but you know what I mean. And then there's a couple of splashable light cards. This one is to add 3 light monsters from your hand to your deck, and then add up to 3 level 4 lower light monsters from your deck to your hand. But if you take 2 or more, they have to all have the same name. And then there's the Photon Lead, which special summon 1 level 4 lower light monster from your hand in face-up attack position. We'll see if we end up seeing this or not. It might end up being pretty splashable in some light decks. We'll see how it goes. Fragment of Greed. If you think you won't be seeing this in anti-meta, you are sorely mistaken. What basically happens is you wait out 2 of your draw phases, and then you draw 2 more times. And that's really all there is to it. Momentary Truce. I have already seen this card in Exodia builds. Both players draw a card, and until your opponent's end phase, all damage either player takes becomes 0. So what they do, obviously, is they use this card, and it's much better than Dark World Dealings in that deck, for the most part. And it's pretty ridiculous. So get ready to see some Exodia decks on Dueling Network using this card. I don't know if you'll see it in real life or not. I don't really anticipate that, but you might. Ho-oh. This card is pretty ridiculous. Okay, so it's level 6, 21 attacks, so right away, and it's a spirit monster, so right away, who are we thinking of? Dark Dust Spirit, right? This card cannot be special summoned during the end. Cannot be special summoned, blah blah blah, blah 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 blah. When it hits the field, when it's normal summoned or flip face up, that is, destroy all set spell and trap cards on your opponent's field. That is really good, actually. Because, like, you can use it, you can obviously use it to clear that back row. And it's pretty ridiculous. So you might start seeing that in Monarchs, if Monarchs even really survive into the next format. And you might see it splash into a couple decks that pretty consistently have trivia fodder out. So we'll see where that goes. Tribe Shocking Virus. Sound like a card you've heard of before? Once per turn, you can banish a monster from your hand, destroy all face-up monsters with the same type as the banished monster. Now, this is much more narrow than Tribe Infecting Virus, but it's still a decent card. And obviously, this is something that people who play a meta deck might put in their side for mirror matches or something like that. So, like, say that you're playing Dark World. Once Dark World becomes meta, that is, and you can side this in and go Fiends and destroy, and then wipe your opponent's field before you get going, or whatever. Kagetukage, or however the hell you pronounce his name. He's kind of like a reverse Goblinberg. When you normal summon a level 4 monster, he comes out. And he can't be used as a synchro material monster. And you'll definitely see that splashed into XYZ decks. Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. Now it's a level 8, but what's really notable about this card is that you can special summon it, but you don't have to. So you can use your normal, you can burn your normal on it, but you can also special summon it with basically the same requirements as a normal summon. So that's pretty ridiculous. And when it battles a monster, you can banish it and the other monster. And if it's an XYZ monster, this card gets 500 attack for every material that was attached to the XYZ monster when it comes back. Daybreaker. When this card is special summoned, you can special summon one Daybreaker from your hand. So I don't really know what I would do with it yet, but if I were to use it, but I do know there's already like a couple of broken combos that you can do with it. Like, for example, with the 2 light support cards that I showed you, you could put 3 light monsters from your hand back in your deck and then get 3 Daybreakers. And then you can go Photon Lead, special summon one of the Daybreaker and get 2 more Daybreakers. And that's a 2-card combo into 3 level 3 or 3 level 4 monsters on the field, which is a number 10 Illuminati or whatever the hell you want it to be. So that's interesting. Light Serpent is a mandatory drop card. When you drop it, special summon it, but it can't be used as a synchro material monster. So obviously with this set, they're trying very hard to encourage the XYZ mechanic. I didn't see any notable tuners in this. It's just there's a lot of emphasis on XYZs, and that's what you're gonna see for a while. Rescue Rabbit. This is a card that a lot of people are going to be trying to get their hands on. He can special summon 2 level 4 lower normal monsters with the same name from your deck, and they're destroyed during the end phase. Now, his effect can only be used once per turn, and that's to avoid decks that would spam him on and off the field. And then obviously you're going to see the build that a lot of you, if you're on Dueling Network, have already seen, that goes into him and brings out this guy, Evil Kaiser Loggia, which is a 1-time Solemn Judgment. And it's pretty good. It's pretty decent. And then Thunder End Dragon, 2 level 8 normal monsters. So I noticed there were a lot of cards for normal decks, and there's even one called like Tyrant's Desperation or something like that, that prevents effect monsters from being summoned. So you'll see this card maybe I don't really know if you will or won't. It's a decent card. And then the Wat Monsters. I know this is actually like an archetype, and I normally say I'm not going to look into archetype cards. But what makes this card notable is it can attack directly, and when it does damage to your opponent, he searches out a Wat Monster from your deck. So this card will give a lot of speed to the Wat deck, and I think that he's very overlooked. And he can even search himself. So you can go Wat King Cobra, get a second Wat King Cobra, and then the next turn get 2 searches off of him, or whatever the hell you want. And it's decent. I like it. And Wat Cancel. Basically, you can negate an opponent's summon by discarding a Wat Monster, and that's really good. It's like they gave Watts a Solemn Warning. So they gave Watts a good searcher and a Solemn Warning, and that's pretty good. The King Cobra will make sure that this card's condition is always fulfilled, and just you can take it from there. Take what you will from that. And then Naturium Maron. This is also a decent searcher to some extent. It's got a Foolish Burial built into it. When this card is normal summoned, you can put a Naturium monster from your deck to your graveyard. But the second effect is what I think is pretty good about it. Once per turn, you can take 2 Naturias in your graveyard and put them in your deck, and then draw 1 card. So it adds some speed to the deck, and it also adds some recycle power to the deck. So you could go, for example, during your turn, you could go Cliff. You could end a Cliff chain with Maron, and then put 2 Cliffs back. Or you could go Cliff, Maron, put Cliff and something else back into your deck and draw 1, and keep going on what you're doing. And obviously, that adds some consistency to the deck that makes me feel like the Triple Cliff Maron engine might be something that people can start splashing, especially into plant-based builds. And we'll just see where that goes. That's all for now. I was going to do something on the Dark World deck, but you all know about the Dark World deck. And after this Photon Shockwave, we'll get Order of Chaos. No one really knows anything about that yet, but I'm excited for this set, and I think you should be too. And that's all for now. Rate, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you later. Oh, and let me know, what do you think this card is? What do you think Latinum, Exarch of Dark World is? Because he's a TCG exclusive, so none of you Japanese people, not that being Japanese would let you know what it is, can tell me what it is. So, let me know if you think you know better than me, and put that down in the underbar. Peace out, guys.